Hi everybody, my name is Jessica and this is my channel Plant Hooker. Now, I'm really sorry for posting late. I had completely forgotten there was no school on Friday for my youngest, so I couldn't really do any filming with him here, because then he would have been like, I want to be in the film, and then this is my dragon and this is my dinosaur and let's do this and do this and do that, and so it was just easier to wait until he wasn't home and then film and post. So, sorry again. But today, I pulled out my Calathea Orbifolia. Now this leaf is fairly nice. It's one of the newer leaves that just came in. Everybody else are some of the older leaves. And as you can tell, pretty well all my older leaves all have the crispy edging, which is normal for Calatheas. And then I have a new growth coming in right here. Isn't that pretty? Yeah. Calathea Orbifolia. The other one is Goipersia, or Gopersia, Geopersia, or Goipersia. I'm not sure. Still haven't learned quite how to pronounce that part. Or the new identification to these plants. But is a species of prayer plant, and these guys are native to Bolivia. You can find these ones in the wild. Yeah. So they do need a spot with like the perfect amount of light, the perfect amount of humidity for them, and the perfect amount of moist soil. They are finicky, like my rattlesnake and peacock still put him to shame. He cannot handle my downstairs thanks to my wood stove. And I've had him now for almost a year. And I had him in a west facing window. He really liked that. And then he actually grew too big for it. Too big for it. So I had to move him to my bedroom, which is a south facing window, but he's about 5 feet away from the window and 4 feet away from the grow light I have in my room. Well, the big grow light, and then there's a small one that he's about 2.5 feet from. So he still gets a fair amount of sunlight where he's at in my room. Now, with him, I'll water him between every 11 to 22 days. 22 days more so during like spring, summer, and fall. 11 days during the winter, because wood stoves and calatheas don't mix. And because this guy here is sensitive to lime in the water, doesn't like tap water, doesn't like chlorine water like the city water or whatnot, so you will need to use either bottled, filtered, or rainwater to water him. And if you're using a filtered water, you need to change your filter every 2 months. If you don't, that's when the crisping, those brown spots on the leaves, will start. So, and you'll notice that the growth will slow down too. And then as soon as you change the filter, and don't, even the first three pitcherfuls you get, don't throw that water out, even with that black stuff in it. Like, that's activated charcoal, and plants do like that. You'll notice that they'll put out more growth. Because as you've seen in one of my older videos with my Calathea medallion, it was way bigger. And then, because I didn't change the filter every 2 months, it kind of went, like, we're not happy, we're not healthy, we're gonna like maybe keel over, and then I changed it and it's like, oh, we're gonna come back. And now it's putting out 2 growths at once. So yeah, every 2 months to maintain happy calatheas. When it comes to fertilizer, I'll fertilize him about every 3 months from what I've read. And I use the all-purpose, specifically the Schultz, because that's what's available here. You also can use the fertilizer that's strictly for green plants too. I did see that one. I've never used it on any of my plants, so I can't guarantee how well it does work. I only know that the Schultz all-purpose works very well. Is a high humidity plant. Doesn't like dry air, doesn't like wood stoves, so that's why he's upstairs. Now, even during the summertime, I'll still mist him about every 3 days. And during the like spring, summer, fall, every 3 days. And then once the wood stove is lit, then I'm pretty well misting him every day the wood stove is lit. So, and he seems to like that. So far so good, because when I did get him, I might have been lighting my stove for maybe another month. That's when I first got him. So he hasn't had like a full winter of wood stove experience. And so we're going to see how well he does with that. And I've only been lighting my stove now maybe a week and a half. So far so good. He seems okay. We're going to hope he stays okay. Now for optimal photosynthesis, it's best to clean these leaves every 3 months. Even with misting, because I also still like spray them with a preventative for insects, like pests. And usually it's good to clean that oil off, especially if it's like neem oil. So then the photosynthesis can come through. And when you are cleaning him, don't use tap water. They still don't like it on their leaves. So either use the bottled filtered or rainwater. Just heat it up a little bit and clean them with that. Part sun, part shade, as I explained earlier. Ideal temperatures for these guys are between 18 and 25 degrees Celsius. And because they're native to Bolivia, their hardiness zone is a 10A. So here on Cape Breton, where I'm like a 5A, 5B, he can only go outside between July and August. But if you're in a 10A or more, he can stay outside year round. Yeah. Now, when it comes to soil, the best soils for these guys are the Coco Coir, peat, and tropical. My guy, oops, I spilled some water. I watered him not that long ago. He's currently in a mixture of all-purpose, orchid bark, and perlite. And he seems to be okay with it. I did buy a bag of tropical soil for just in case he didn't quite like this and would have preferred something better. But he seems okay in it. Like he was in, when I bought him, he was in a 6-inch pot and I left him in that 6-inch. And it wasn't until about maybe, I don't know, a month or two ago, I think, where his roots were starting to come out the bottom, but not that much. So I just put him in another 6, but a deeper 6, like it's a tiny bit deeper, like he had that much more room to grow for his roots. And because of the way this pot is, like it still has drainage, but the roots aren't gonna be like flying out right away. So he'll have more area to grow his roots around and maybe put out some more leaf growth. Yeah, because he's currently, okay, he's about 9 inches tall and 20 inches wide, which is 20 centimeters? No, 23 centimeters and okay, 50 centimeters wide is what he would be. And they can be as big as 28 inches tall and 28 inches wide, which is 70 centimeters. So it's not going to get that much bigger. Maybe a little more bushier. They are sensitive to drafts, do not like cold. So even if you put him in a room and you close the door thinking, oh, he'll be fine, he'll be away from the wood stove. No, he'll droop because he got cold and he'll be mad. Now, when it comes to pests, the worst pests for these guys are mealybugs, thrips, and spider mites. Now, myself personally, I have not dealt with any pest at all on this guy. He's been really good. Other than, I think he had soil mites when I first got him, and I was able to take them out and get rid of them. So he did fairly good. So now when it comes to common problems with these guys, black spots is an issue, and that can range between a bacterial infection, a low humidity, or lime in the water. Brown spots can mean inadequate watering. Now, when I will admit that while I was working between April and May, June he kind of recovered a little bit, and July was just thrown out the window because we were busy again. I may not have been watering him properly. I'm wondering, because I can see I'm on that leaf. This leaf should show up a bit better because they're a bit deeper. But see right there, see those brown spots? That's from inadequate watering. So I didn't keep him on his regular watering schedule, and he kind of like threw a tiny little fit. So yeah, so inadequate watering or underwatering. Yellowing leaves is another factor for these guys, and that's a sign of overwatering. Now, as much as they do like to have their feet wet, they don't like to have it soaking wet. So, and because like smaller pots will need more intervals of watering than what I'm giving him, and bigger pots will need less intervals of watering than what I'm doing with him. So usually with watering, to make sure he's getting an adequate supply of water, you want to wait till he's at a moisture meter level 4 and then give him a little bit of watering. Now this pot is just a plain ceramic pot. I think it came from the dollar store or Dollarama. Yeah, you can find some really nice pots at the dollar stores. You don't need to spend fortunes. Like that one. This one, I think this is a 15, and I didn't realize, like, oh, 15, this makes sense. You know, it's $25. When I've seen 15s at a ceramic at dollar stores for the same price as this one. I think the price tag is still on this one. Yeah, $4.25. So in Canadian dollars. Yeah. Would I recommend this to first-time plant owners? No, not one bit. If you're trying out Calatheas for the first time, I would go with the rattlesnake before the peacock. Because this guy, even though he's like part of this guy's family, he does well with normal humidity. He's done really well with pest. Like the thrips has been through him, and he bounces back no problem. He takes a pounding, he's been dropped, and he's still gorgeous. So for when it comes to Calatheas, for first time plant owners of Calatheas, always go with the rattlesnake first. I do have to admit that they're one of the tougher ones that I've tried so far. Yeah. But mind you, I still love my Orbifolia. It is a very gorgeous plant. Like, I mean, like, look at that leaf. And that coloring nut. I can't tip him over too much because he'll make a mess. But yeah, so if you have any questions, shoot me a message. I'll answer them to the best of my abilities. Oh, hi, Gwen. Gwen has to say hi. It's like, oh, this is a new plant. I must see, should I eat it or not? No, all Calatheas are non-toxic to cats. So, suicidal Gwen here won't feel the need to eat them. And I don't have to spray him with vinegar like I do this guy. But, so if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, you can give me a thumbs down. Everybody has a right to their own opinion. But if you really like the video, subscribe. And since we are in the month of November and we're almost to Remembrance Day, please honor your vets and honor those before them who have gave their lives so we could be free today. And as always, live long, plant on.